Alright guys, we're doing example 3 now for from 7.3. It says you're playing capture the flag. You are 50 yards north and 20 yards east of your team's base. The other team's base is 80 yards north and 60 yards east of your base. How far are you from the other team's base? So, first thing you should do is what they did here is draw a coordinate plane, a Cartesian coordinate plane of the situation. Let the origin represent your team's base, so that's what they did here. And then it says you're 20 yards uh, east and 50 yards north of your base, so you'd be right here. So x is 20, and then the 50 is the y. So you're 20 yards east, 50 yards north. And then from that, we know also we've been given that the other team's base is 60 yards east and 80 yards north. So they plotted both of those first. That's step one, is to plot those. And then from the descriptions, from what you've been given, you figure out that the other team's base is 40 yards east of you and 30 yards north. So we know that's 40 yards east and 30 yards north based off of our graph here, based off of our coordinate plane. And when you go travel east and then north, straight north, there'd be a 90-degree angle here. What we're trying to figure out is this hypotenuse here, what the distance is between you and the other team's base. So that's step two. Draw a right triangle with a hypotenuse that represents the distance between you and the other team's base. This is our hypotenuse because it's opposite this 90-degree angle. And then the lengths of our legs are 30 and 40. We use the Pythagorean theorem to solve this problem. So use the Pythagorean theorem to find that missing length there, the length of the hypotenuse. It's not a missing leg problem again, unfortunately. Those are more fun, aren't they? Step three, we just got to set it up. So we start with a squared plus b squared equals c squared. And after that, we know that one of the legs is 30 and one of the legs is 40. It doesn't matter which one we label A and which one we label B. Either leg can be either. So we'll just call A can be 30, can be this one, and then leg B can be this one. So we'd put 30 in for A here and 40 in for B, which is what we do in this step. And that equals c squared. Make sure that we have that. And then you evaluate the powers. So you do 30 squared plus 40 squared. We'll just do it. We won't combine them right away. We'll just do it in this two-step process. So 30 squared is 900 and 40 squared is 1600. And that still equals c squared. Don't forget that. And then you combine, you add these two. So you do 900 plus 1600, which is 2500, and that equals c squared still. And then how do we undo the squaring? We use the square root. So we take the square root of this side, and what we do to this side, we have to do to the other side of the equal sign, which means we take the square root of this to figure out what c equals, and we take the square root of the 2500, and that'll tell us what c equals, which is 50. So you take the positive square root of each side. Therefore, knowing that c equals 50, that's this length here, c, that's the hypotenuse, we know that we are 50 yards from the other team's base. That's the shortest distance between us and the other team's base. If you feel comfortable with this one, move on to the on your own. Otherwise, I'd just try watching it again.